Ladies and gents, welcome to the clearing. That's right, the African clearing. We've got lots of resources around this map, and the players do not start with their town centers. So it's a nomad start here. Unlike normal nomad, there's not water around the outer ring. There is wood, and we've got 1200 elo action here. So it's a pretty solid rank here. Also kind of feels like with these civilizations that these players have some plans, and maybe this wasn't a random civ game. In the blue, we've got SamSquanch, which is a name that rings a bell for me. I believe we're casting someone who's a viewer. And then in the red, we have MA13. So SamSquanch playing as the Cumans, the civilization that can build the second town center in the Feudal Age. I'm not sure where this villager's going. This guy just boycotted building the TC or something. There should be third villager coming back, and it is for SamSquanch. TC on the shorefish is the best thing you can do on this map. You don't have to. You can always TC the wood and then walk out to the shorefish, but this is pretty good. And then same thing here for red. Only difference is I think red's TC will be up a little bit faster. Shouldn't be that big of a deal. So let's talk about how you play this map and like what the players should try and aim for. So you don't have a scout, right? And it's important to find where you can take resources and also find the enemy. So the best way to do that is when you find goats is to scout with those goats. So these guys are pretty experienced at 1200 elo. Definitely far and away above the low elo legends. I would consider them mid elo maniacs or whatever. Yeah, so red scouting away with some goats. And then blue is doing a similar thing. I actually prefer what blue is doing with the start, by the way. Villagers on shorefish bring in food way faster than villagers on goats. And so taking the goats right now is not something I agree with. Now, I think you could make an exception if you're Mongols and you want to take hunts. It's possible red thinks taking a goat or a sheep is considered hunt. The game considers that a shepherd. I don't know how many shepherds kill their flock, but yeah, just things to think about here for red. Maybe take the zebra for some faster food income. Because one of the bigger things for the Mongols, and this doesn't mean he won't take advantage of it, he just hasn't yet, is the fact that you hunt faster. So, blues in the north of the map. You know what this reminds me of, guys? This reminds me of the legend of Corner Boy. And I haven't actually looked at his profile. I don't know if people have interest in checking up on him. I actually think we should maybe do that today. Because African Clearing has been in the pool for the last week and a half. And he would always play African Clearing. And it almost looked like, based on his profile last I checked, which was many months ago, he just straight up wouldn't even play the game. At least he wouldn't play 1v1s if there was no African Clearing in the pool. Because he'd always go to the corner. And blue's kind of done that, which is what made me think of it. So blue's shorefishing away. Also on the lumber camp at a good time. I like that. And also scouting with the villager to get even more resources. And what I don't think blue has accomplished, though, is I don't think blue found the enemy. I don't think we've seen a sheep get found by red. And same thing, red has not found blue. But, I mean, to be fair, I mean, there's a lot of different things going on right now. You would expect it to take some time. Okay, that's going to be a rhino kill underneath the TC. And then you've also got the zebras, too. So, finally, we see the Mongol player taking advantage of some of the hunts. Jonas says I played against SamSquanch twice this year. This week, sorry. Yeah, I've seen Sam around the community. Remember him being a viewer for quite some time, so cool to see him in action here. Don't know too much about red, like I said. So I assume, I assume that if you're picking Cumans, sorry for the weird sigh there. I was like really thinking about this. That you want to go for the second town center in the Feudal Age. And if you were to do that, obviously you have a lot of food income. So you probably want to click up no later than 18 or 19 population. And maybe build the town center on a wood line. And then later on you transition that food eco into farms. Oh wow, look at Sam with the pro moves. Weakening the rhino with the TC. Pro strats over here. Again, shorefish here. Double rhino here, plus the shorefish at the start. Let's look at the resources collected here. Again, this is against the Mongols, and the Mongols do have a food boost now. That's just because of that one rhino, man. Like, Mongols are insane. There's actually a second rhino now for red as well. T90 official, can you use your infinite influence on the devs to make Mega Random better? It's dire lol. First off, I agree with you that Mega Random isn't really random anymore. It feels like the same variation of the same 5 maps with slight differences between them. But you are incorrect that I have infinite influence. You're just straight up incorrect. Believe me, I wish that, you know, things I feel strongly about or that you guys feel strongly about would be prioritized. Not saying it isn't to a degree, but I really try my best. And I honestly, at this point, my philosophy is don't put a lot of energy and time into trying to... This is going to sound bad, okay? Don't put a lot of, like, not energy and time, but emotion into hoping that things that I want to be addressed get addressed. I'll make videos about it, as I want to hear what you guys have to say, and I think they're important talking points. But there's been a lot of things over the years I put a lot of, like, emotion into, like, man, we really need that. We really... And that doesn't happen, and then I just, like, kind of get annoyed and upset, and it affects my mental state. So, you know, I do my best. I would love to see Mega Random be what it used to be. Now, I will say this, though. I think the tricky thing about Mega Random is they don't want it to be so random that it leads to very unfair situations. And we are talking about... Oh, God, you got me started. But we were talking about a map team or map individual, whoever's working on it, I don't know exactly, that still can't generate arena in a way where the woodlines aren't glitched 1 out of every 10 times. So they found a safe position with Mega Random, and I believe they're happy with that, which was why Mega Random isn't quite as crazy as it used to be. So anyways, I digressed a little bit here. We're going to see Blue in Feudal Age. What do you do, Blue? Do you make a second town center? We see a second town center right there. Same spot of the screen. Could be problematic if we get a lot of, aggression coming this way. But look at the food count, guys. Cumans can be so strong here. And you should, if you're up against the Cumans, guys, you should feel this pressure to do damage. Now, realistically, I would advise you against going for heavy Feudal Age pressure against the Cumans. Because if the Cuman player is playing smart, they're going to play defensive, they're going to wall up, and they're going to be in a corner like this, right? Remember, Cumans do have more HP on their palisade walls. A lot of players forget that. But anyways, we'll see. Also, Colin, you are... Don't even talk about my Tarkans, okay? Yeah, you're no longer permitted to talk about my Tarkans. Tarkans thumped for years, and Tarkans need their thump back. Look at Red. Red is going to scout the map. Red's score is going to zoom like crazy, okay? And he's looking for the opponent now. So, like, investing a lot of that food income into scouts. We also, at the same time, have a Rhino coming in. So this is some pretty good multitasking. And Mongols also have a scout bonus. And finally, there's some blue on the screen there for Red. And Red could kill these villagers. Red needs to group up the units together. Blue obviously going to react here. Pretty good start for Blue here. He's going to kill a scout for free. Red didn't move in with all the scouts together. But now Blue's like, oh boy, we can't play this game anymore. And good aggression here from Red. Now the question now becomes, how does Blue balance this? Because a lot of players struggle in these instances to keep the vills pumping out of both TCs and play into damage control. Really liked what Blue did though. Like Blue is walling up, and Blue has a lot of goats. The tricky thing here now, though, is that you won't be able to take any shorefish, and you won't be able to take any hunt. So it's not the legend of Corner Boy. It is the legend of Sam. And he's done the right thing, though, to box himself into the corner. Also did add a barracks to make some spearmen as well, which I don't necessarily hate. Red's going to see these walls, and Red's probably like, well, crap. And Red, almost made it through there. Okay, so now you have to look back at Red's economy and think, okay, what state is Red in? Is Red going to be able to make it to Castle Age behind this? And we'll see about that. 5 scouts should be able to fight 1 spearman. Sam, unable to get a quick wall down. That's going to be another villager down. That's 2 villagers killed. But again, against the Cumans, they get such a big vill lead, even if you're killing villagers. So it's very complicated to do much more damage from here. And red runs right into that TC. Blue garrisons, and red's probably like, what? This is really interesting stuff here. I don't know where the spearman is right now, but the spearman could maybe accomplish something now. And blues had really nice stats. You know, not a lot of idle TC time. There has been a lot of idle time with the villagers, though. And we have a tower from red. Just going to make life more awkward for blue. So that's what I like about what we're seeing in this game from red, is the fact that he's just throwing a bunch of different things at blue. And the eco balance is not going to be optimal for blue because blues has to react a lot. So walling in the tower a little bit. I don't even think that blue had seen that tower. And tower could always help out with the spearman too. So this is actually very nice because now if you're in red's position, you've got a forward position to make siege from. This kind of locks this down. So I think if you can make it to the next stage, a siege workshop there forward could be really good. I think there's a point, guys, and I'll give you a number, and I don't even know if this number is going to fit all situations, but there's a point when you have Cumans, okay, where you need to stop producing villagers. You're probably thinking, what? That's the whole point. No, this is the deal. You're going to have a villager lead because you already are so far ahead. The way you can fall behind with the Cumans is if you continue to extend that villager lead, thus keeping yourself from castle age. When you've got this amount of resources, I think at least what the pros do, right? You're going to see a market. You're going to see them idle. They're going to stop spending food just for a minute or two. Click up to castle age with one of those TCs, and then you get the other one back to work while you're on the way to the next stage. Blue already has a lead. Let's see if blue can keep that lead. And we'll see what red does. As red is going to get another rhino. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Weak villager. Weak villager. Weak villager. Oh, pain. 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 Easy kill. Heesh. Okay. Hi there. Can someone help me? I don't know how to put my multi-TC mode and unique text on my DEAV2. Can someone help me? All caps. It looks like someone's helping you. I'm not exactly sure what you mean. So chat can help you out. Also, you've got the Discord to ask those questions as well, which is probably a little bit more helpful. But you've got answers. 2 villagers killed by red. Again, this is that position where I would say blue already has a significant enough lead to snowball this to victory in the next stage, depending on how things go. Red still has the tower there, has some villagers around here, hasn't gone for any more military buildings. So if we are to see aggression, it'll probably just be from these stables. Red is also scouting. Someone says, hi, what is the ELO? There's this very weird bug where occasionally the ELO doesn't show where it should on screen. If you can't see it, what I need you to do is I need you to call your mom. I need you to sing the United States National Anthem at the top of your lungs. And then immediately upon completing that national anthem, and your mother's confusion, I'm sure, the ELO will show right next to the player names at the top. Again, if you're not seeing it, just complete that step. And trust me, it'll work, okay? Anyways, here comes red. Scouting the rest of the map, and this is good. You've got stone, you've got gold, you've got wood. But, you know, there's resources spread out all around this map, and you really want to know where those resources are. Sorry for the sarcasm, by the way. I haven't made that stupid of a joke in a long time. But, I see red's really trying to diversify a little bit. Red recouping some of the stone lost from the tower earlier. Has quite a few resources. And there's the siege workshop. And then we have some knights as well. Yeah, you need to pressure the Cumans. Like, you really can't catch up in a boom against the Cumans. Not easily, anyways. Here comes blue, by the way. Blue did not know where the enemy was until this very moment. And blue's going to lose their spearmen, but it's not that big a deal. Like, at least you know at this point that that's where the enemy is. Siege isn't on the way yet from red, but red's doing a lot of different things right now, so who can really blame red? And red's going to go knights, and red's going to go rams. If you go rams, guys, wait for at least 2. Don't go with 1, okay? I think it's really important. And commit to it as well. I love the commitment from red. Clearly some experience here at this ELO, right? I will say this. I loved how many villagers blue's been able to create. Only 3 minutes of idle TC time is pretty impressive. And blue's going to be able to make camels. If I see knights, I would make camels. Some people like to make lancers too. I think a mix is always really good. And if red doesn't move in soon, I'm kind of questioning whether or not the damage is going to be done here. It's always such a fine line when you're talking about the Cumans. And we do have camels here. Oh, but blue is housed. Oh, just temporarily, though. Okay. Why rams? Well, rams destroy buildings faster, right? Your opponent has TCs on you, and you want to kill as quickly as possible. The rams are the perfect play. Here we go. Going in for the TC. Red committing. Can blue get the numbers? The timing's so crucial here. That TC will go down. It'll probably cancel wheelbarrow as well. And all the villagers that are around, what are they going to do? Now, camels, they don't do bonus damage versus rams. They just do it versus the knights. It's kind of funny because that means they don't actually kill the rams as effectively as knights would. And while this is snowballing, blue still has a pretty big economic lead. So if red's not taking good trades, blue could stabilize here. But no wheelbarrow for blue. Or wait. Oh, it completes. All right, wheelbarrow completes. Tons of villagers are going to go down. The siege there is going to go down as well. The rams will, do you think, eventually take out the town center here. Blue still trying to produce, but, you know, really doesn't have the gold income right now to produce more. Yeah, great job from blue to keep the town center up, I have to say. Good job repairing and being stubborn. But I can't help but feel like the numbers just aren't going to be there. Villagers will go in after the ram. Red pulls the ram away. Villagers going down. Back inside the TC, and it's panic time for blue. All right, really curious to see how blue handles this now, because you could make a castle. Where do you make this castle? That was perfect timing from red. It really, like, so difficult to stop the Cumans. Blue is back on gold, still has food income with a lot of these farms. They're starting to lose the stables now, though, and I think we saw here how important the numbers are. I'm not sure where blue's going with these vills. I think blue is either frustrated or has made a mistake here. It's only going to be 2 camels. The stables are cheap for you, though, blue. Red behind this maybe feels like, I've done enough damage. Let's add the second town center. And both players have enough for a castle right now, interestingly enough. The market wasn't up before for blue, and here comes a red, and red says, I'm not finished with the pressure. Let's castle the Cumans. And, oh, man, it's just like one thing after another that blue's got to deal with. Blue calls the GG, taps out. Was a really fast game, but a really good game. So, you know, I like mid-elo because, I mean, players are getting better and better. There's different strategies. There's different things we see. But while I alluded to it before, I want to talk about it again. There are going to be people who already hate playing against the Cumans who aren't going to like my advice here. But Sam, again, I know you're a viewer. I'm going to teach you how you never die from this position, okay? And again, it's precisely what I had said before. You've got a lot of skill to get the start going, okay? So, obviously, red scout rushed you, killed 2 villagers, whatever. Doesn't matter. You've got a big villager lead. Okay. I would say right about here is where you think of a change of approach, okay? So, you don't need the stable now, right? You go market, and then you use one of these TCs, or you just, one of the TCs just continually sends villagers to gold. See, the market really helps with power spikes and just helping you get an edge with the timing. And so in this particular situation, what blue is not doing is selling off that wood to get some extra gold and buy some food. And if blue does that, like you could see, blue's waiting instead for the natural farm count. You already have a good farm count. If blue uses the market in that situation and is even castle age a minute faster, I think this TC doesn't go down. And I think then you've got a massive eco lead, you drop a castle, and it becomes a different game. So, that's my advice. Again, there are examples of it if you look at my cast of like TTL with Cumans, for example. But again, the thing to think about is don't be afraid to idle your town centers once you know you've already got a lead, right? You're the only civilization that can make TCs in Feudal. Get the lead And then in order to maintain that lead, just delay. And to convince you even one step further, because there are some people who are probably thinking, I'm not comfortable idling my TCs. It makes me feel really bad about my life. Well, guess what? First off, trust me, okay? Second thing, though, when you click up to Castle H, you still have another TC to produce villagers out of again, which is another lead over your opponent. So you've got the villager lead. Don't try and get a 30 or 40 villager lead at the cost of a later Castle H. Just be happy with the 15 to 20, and then you go for everything else. Get to Castle Age, make the camels, you're good.